I think that looks great with that rug.
I want you to have a chance to weigh in.
If you'd have put that mirror all the way up there, I would have had to hurt you.
This place is still a construction zone. We're supposed to be done tomorrow.
I'm serious. You should marry me. I'd make your life miserable.
Hey.
Hi. Oh my gosh, this is so fun.
How's the drive?
Oh, it was amazing. Wow, this looks legit, Dorian. No SketchUp, is that what you're saying? This looks very this looks like an architect's
Even the people
font.
that here's the original home here.
Yeah.
And then with these steps in the garage, so the addition is this one with the slanted lines.
And what is the actual addition going to be?
A bathroom.
He has one bathroom over there, 2 bedrooms that use that bathroom. It is what I would call the main bathroom. It's not a powder room because it has a shower tub. However, there's only one bathroom. So at this point, Dorian owns this house and he wants to push the wall back and add on a bathroom that's attached to this that's only his. Also put in a washer and dryer because he currently has to go out to the garage to do his laundry, which is why he seldom does it. What message are you giving? He's a single man. I am so shocked that you have hibiscus. This is what I wore to the hula hop in the 70s at my school.
It's coming back around. This is where the door will be.
Okay.
I'll still maintain that window, and then there will be this window, but it'll be.
What do you mean maintain this? So this is going to have to have a certain amount of drywall. Right. So your opening will be there, and it maybe goes a little further that way.
Yeah. So as planned, we built out the 153 square feet for the new bathroom and laundry room addition. Of course, not without its challenges. And I was very fortunate to have Rebecca's guidance and advice during the process. Okay, so we're getting ready to hang this mirror. We've had a couple complications, but I want you to have a chance to weigh in. You can see our buddy Victor here. He is the man that gets everything done.
Victor.
Hello. Actually, the bottom part of the mirror is so you can kind of see it. It's right there.
I'd like it to come down lower. That seems more appropriate. I'm so glad you called, Dorian. If you'd have put that mirror all the way up there, I would have had to hurt you.
As we were getting closer to completing the addition, Rebecca and I had a conversation. She said, "You know what? You really should redo that bedroom of yours. You've lived with it that way for so long." She said, "You really ought to complete that too." And she said, "I have a plan."
Hey, Victor. Thank you for coming to our rescue
Okay.
and doing all this stuff and getting it done in time.
No
I really
problem.
appreciate it. Got a big long list for you today.
Okay.
Are you ready?
We'll try to finish.
Let's go. So I've created a list for Victor. You know what I think we should do first, though? We should bring those rugs in. That will go. What will this do?
There you go to Costco.
We are. We're going to Costco, and you know what we're going to get? A television for Dorian, because the TV he has sucks.
It's such a cliche, but I got the patience of the saint. Fortune favors the brave.
Okay, here's our duvet. Let's see what these pillows look like. With that rug, wow, that looks good. Look at that color. It's such an unusual color. And then this, I think that looks great with that rug.
Crazy. It's a crazy place, Dorian. I'm opened up the window treatments, the new sheets from Kiki Pants, and the duvet cover. Everything is out and kind of loosening up, so less to have to iron later. Also the window treatments. Let me go get those. Just trying to keep these as flat as possible. Do you have new towels?
No, I didn't buy
You know what? You're a very expensive date.
I'll buy the towels.
Good Lord. I bought you fresh plants because I think you're a little on the granola side, aren't you? I'm gonna take these, let's go into your bathroom and we're gonna start making some decisions. Yeah, this looks awesome. This place is still a construction zone. We're supposed to be done tomorrow. That looks great with your cabinets. Okay, so I'm gonna give you, you're not gonna like this at first, but just hang with me. Trust me, no, when I'm done, you're gonna love it. And then these, and having towels in them. If we bring in this rust color, we have to bring in the rust color some way. Yeah, significantly longer. Stop. Mm-hmm. Shorter. Yeah. The next thing I want to do is bring in one of those pots. Wow, fits like a glove. Yay. We're gonna have to fill that with something. Just thinking like that with towels on it. I wish it was more the rusty color. Do you have any more of this rusty stain?
I believe so.
Maybe we could do that. I found this cool ladder that I'm going to use for towels at, believe it or not, Marshall's. And it came in this very natural stain, or really no stain, but it had like a wax finish on it. So Victor is kindly sanding it for me, and I got this special sanding paper that is pliable. So you can bend it and it can go around round things. Then he's gonna stain it in the teak color that we've got going on in the rest of the bathroom. I love the pendant lights that we got for Dorian's room. They're gonna look amazing. They came with light bulbs that have a standard base, but when we put them in, they are not dimmable bulbs. They were from Wayfair, so we got them at this fixture from them at a good price, but not dimmable, and we want to be able to dim them. So I went to Home Depot and I picked out, it's really hard to know what the color is going to look like. Is it going to be too orange, too yellow, too gold, too bright, too blue? So I just thought it'd be a good time to explain to you guys what I do is I buy different styles and try them in the fixture. This one is the one I think that's giving us more of that smoky vibe. I like that. I feel like this is going to make the whole room look too orange. So this is the one that I would go with, and this is actually called Bright White, and it's Vivid Natural Light, 60 watts, dimmable, bingo. So we're doing an experiment. I don't like how orange this is. So we bought dark walnut, which looks really dark. But we're just gonna see what it looks like if we just put a coat of that and see if it gets us to where we want to go. Okay, I need to get to ironing. That I have probably 4 hours of ironing to do today, so I need to get on that. It's very lightweight, but I think it'll be just fine. I mean, you had me thinking you had like an old one that you have to put on a hot rock to heat up. This will be good. Do you have distilled water?
Yes.
You have distilled water? Why? Nobody has distilled water.
Science projects for Julian.
Super impressed with that guy. I have cotton pillowcases for the king size pillows. And I have standard pillowcases from my favorite sheet company, which is Kiki Pants. And those are the pillows that Dorian will sleep with. These are the ones that'll just sit on the bed and look pretty. It's really important to get your iron on the right setting. Sometimes it just really does take a steam. For a long time, I have felt very strongly about ironing at least your pillowcases, at the very least. And then the second step of luxury would be to iron the top sheet of your bed. And if you're really, OCD, iron the bottom sheet too. But honestly, look at the difference between a pillowcase that has not been ironed and one that has. I mean, this looks like satin, doesn't it? It's not. It's the Kiki Pants brand, but there's just such a huge difference. So what I'm doing here, Dorian, is I'm actually ironing the down comforter that's going to go inside, which sounds silly, right? Why would you iron the inside, the comforter that goes inside your duvet? But the duvet is very thin. It's like sheet material. If I didn't iron it, all of these wrinkles would show through. Do you see the difference? See how skinny it is? That's why. Okay, say you're sorry. See, we're becoming a well-oiled machine. If I was still in San Diego, Victor, I'd use you all the time.
Right.
Lucky for you, I'm not. The key is to dress these so that the loops all have a consistent as possible width. And look how this just barely touches, just kisses the ceiling, covers the inside of the casement, and bam. These are the window treatments that used to hang at this one right here. Does it change your opinion of the man you're working for? I mean, come on.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And you go, boom. Ah, yes. I always save making the bed in a project for last because there's so many things that go on. A lot of times you're putting art above the bed or window treatments on either side, something like that. So saving it to the very end means it's perfect and it doesn't have to be redone. I'm gonna finish this off with 3 throw pillows. And these pillows look great with the area rug and all of our color scheme. These are 20 by 20s. And you look for where the zipper is right here and you make sure that's sitting down. This one kind of brings all the colors together.
Oh my gosh. To think about where this started and what it has become.
Pretty amazing, huh?
Absolutely incredible. Goosebumps.
Right? Me too. I actually have goosebumps too. That's a good litmus test.
Yeah.
So I think your first impression when you walk in is, of course, that wall. It's the absolute perfect wall for a focal point.
Yes, it is.
And what do you think about the fact that we ran the slats and we went them vertically?
I like the vertical. I like it better than doing the horizontal.
Well, I think
honestly.
so too. I mean, it's like anything. If you have horizontal stripes, things are going to look wider. If you have vertical, they're going to look taller. And this is an 8-foot room.
True.
So that kind of took care of that. But then having your bed in the center, and it's really the one light thing in the room. Ta-da! And then, of course, the nightstands that match on either side, but these pendant lights. I think they just look amazing. And it's like a great first impression. And then just to finish off the symmetry with the 2 tall trees on either side and those big pots.
Those trees, those are one of my favorite things.
Really?
In here. Yeah.
Seriously?
I really love
God
those.
did that. I did the rest. So here's the deal, guys. Here's the story. This all started off with Dorian deciding he wanted to add a bathroom. And he hired a contractor and an architect. And it's actually, how many square feet is this addition?
150.
150 square feet. And how big is the house in total?
It was about 950 to begin with.
Okay, so you're over 1,000 square feet now.
Yes, look at us.
It's a small house, but I can tell you, it's located in Point Loma, which is one of the most expensive areas that you can buy in San Diego. It's not as like luxury as, Rancho Santa Fe and things like that, but these homes are old. How old is the home?
1956.
Oh, it was born before I was. just barely.
Of course.
Yes. So adding on, it actually added more to the value of your home.
Certainly.
And to add on a nice bathroom was really nice. So that was how it all started. And then we did an IGOIG episode about Dorian's window treatments. His girlfriend said, either they go or I go. I remember the first time I walked through his bedroom and saw those curtains, I wasn't much of a fan myself either. So it was like a month ago that we decided, I'm coming out, let's just do it all at one time. I'll help you with it, right? And he did a lot before I got here, but it started with him sending me measurements and I put it into my SketchUp model. And that's when I realized, you've got a hot mess here. I mean, you only have so many options. The fact that your door is here for your bathroom, your bed was over much further and you had very little room for nightstands. And that's because there was a door on this wall. So by putting it in the SketchUp model, I realized, you know what? Dorian, I called him. I said, Dorian, I have an idea that you're not probably going to like at first glance.
I was a little bit hesitant at first, and obviously because I've lived in this house for so long, I just was so used to the access going through here.
Because that's the only way to the bathroom, right? Right.
Yeah, and to the other bedrooms, my son's room and the living room and all of that. So it was a pretty foreign concept, obviously, because I hadn't experienced any of this at all ever. So
yeah. So the idea was, I mean, there's a door on one wall for a closet. There's another entry door. So this small bedroom had 2 entrances and now an entrance to a bathroom. When you have that many doors, where are you going to put your furniture? So by being a good sport and agreeing to get rid of the door on this wall, we were able to make this an amazing focal point wall. So the paint color that I selected was iron ore, which is one of my favorite blacks. And then we decided, okay, if we're going to do this amazing focal point wall, what do we do on the ceilings and the rest of the walls? And then that was a little scary for you too, wasn't it?
it was indeed.
Yes.
It was indeed.
Because we color drenched.
We midnighted the room.
We midnighted the room. But don't you think it's like sexy and smoky and like, I'm saying. So one of the things you need to think about when you're going to paint your walls or color drench them is you need to always remember to paint out your registers, your heating and air conditioning registers, as well as change out your switch plates, your switches themselves. Imagine this black wall and this still being white like it was before. We also added quite a bit of light in here, didn't we, Dorian? So before, he had 2 hanging pendants, but there was no ceiling lighting. And now we have on either side of this television a pendant light that comes from the ceiling on either side, and then 2 pendants that come on either side above the nightstands. But we also added an eyeball light, which I use for art lights, but it added so much light to this room. Wouldn't you say, Dorian?
Most certainly.
Yeah, amazing. So as we walk around this side of the room, one of the big issues, I had put a large piece of art on this wall, and we talked about a bunch of things, like you're into guitars, he's in a band, and motorcycles. We talked about that. But then what was the other thing that we actually ended up going with? Tell us about this piece of art.
Well, it's a skateboarder, obviously. So yeah, I had a few ideas. I had this Chet Baker photo. I had a photo of Winston Churchill. I had quite a few different options. The biggest problem is we couldn't get the size that we wanted.
Right.
Couldn't find anything big enough.
Right. And that's the thing about doing it on my SketchUp model. I can put it in the size that it needs to be. So we can be very specific. So you actually needed to get something printed.
This is actually a photographer named Grant Britton, and he is kind of, I guess you would call him the godfather of skateboarding photography in the 80s, 90s. Shot the likes like Tony Hawk and all these other
Which
people.
is when Dorian was a professional skateboarder.
I actually had the pleasure of shooting with him a couple of times.
That's great. And I
And
asked
we've
him, why
remained
didn't you
friends.
pick one of you? And he's like, I'm not going to put
That's embarrassing.
I'm not going to put me on the wall. I'm like, well, then why didn't you pick one of me? But this right here is a bench that I found at Home Goods. So this really was a great fill-in. It's perfect to tie in the slatted wall, and it's a storage bench. I gave him back some storage.
All that stuff you took away that I never use, I
Yeah.
can put it and not use it there.
Right? Dorian, will you go over and adjust? It's not dimmable from here. You got to
Sure.
dim it from there and show them
You got it.
how these can be bright or these can be dimmed. Look at this.
And we're dimming
See?
to nothing. And
Yeah.
then we're going.
We can make it just a little, and we can make it brighter.
That's full intensity.
Okay, go down a little bit. Right down, right there. Isn't that romantic? Now, in these nightstands, here's a cool thing. It's got like individual little whoozy what's-its here, and you can take your phone and or whatever it is that you want to plug in, so it's actually part of the nightstand. I mean, back in the day, I had to custom design things like that. And now you can get them from Wayfair, which is pretty amazing. These trees, these are 4-foot trees, but they're in almost a 3-foot pot, giving you the right height. And these trees can take lower light. Sometimes you may want to take them out to just get a little day of sun or shade. But they should do pretty well in here. So I think this all turned out great. Now, the best part is this bed. All right, Dorian, let's talk about what led to this bedding. I actually purchased all this stuff for Dorian. Of all the things that I did, the bed is where I really knocked myself out. And why did I do that?
You did that because a time when I came to visit you for work and I stayed in your guest bedroom. I remember coming out of that room the next morning after I slept in that bedroom and said, you need to tell me everything about this bed and how to put it together.
Yeah. So I said, okay, there's a lot that goes into making the perfect bed. And then I went in to try to describe it to him. And I said, first off, the sheets. Below the sheets, I use 3-inch memory foam. We'll put a link in the description box, the one that I purchased for Dorian. Then I use a duvet. I use down feathers in the comforter that goes inside the duvet, and the duvet itself is also from Kiki Pants, so it's super soft. And then the last thing is not something, we'll put links to everything below, but the last thing I can't link, and that's because you can only buy these through a designer, but the pillows themselves are 100% down. Now, many of you have had down pillows before, and what happens? Sometimes you feel like a poke in your back. Why is that? Because the feather has a quill that goes up the center, and then the little feather pieces come off of it. These pillows are made without the quill. They strip the quill and only use the feathers. They are ridiculously expensive, and I bought them 4. I got 2 kings and 2 standards. I just did that because I wanted Dorian, I wanted to replicate what I have in my guest room, what gave him such a good night's sleep, which is why I bought him a clock and an alarm clock here, because I don't want him to enjoy it too much. I want him to get back to work, right?
Indeed.
So that you can hear me talking all the day. We're about to go into the new bathroom, which has been quite a challenge to accomplish.
Understatement.
But before we do, I wanted to point out something. You'll notice in things like this, I actually use some artificial greenery as well as fresh plants. I think when you mix the two, it's kind of the high-low. Some things are real, some things are artificial, and if you do it well, you can't really tell which is which. You'll notice that Dorian had picked out the doors. I think this door is really beautiful, and he went with a teak finish, which pulls in the flooring, and you'll see more of that in the bathroom, but he also did it on his windows. Let's take a look at these window treatments, because you know, this is like my favorite thing, and see how these turned out. These panels are velvet. I've used 2 panels per side. When I took these out and I told Victor, he was helping me hang them, I said, okay, I want 2 on this side and 2, and he said, 2? I said, yes. Because remember from my window treatment video, one panel, once it goes into its pleated aspect, will end up at about 7.5 inches finished. So I'm able to get a 14-inch wide panel out of 2 of these panels put together. But again, the reason I use grommets, even though there are those out there who say grommets are out, no one uses them. You know why? Because the way they use them, they look like a shower curtain. The way I use them, they look like beautiful, perfectly pleated, completely evenly spaced pleats. All right, Dorian, I think we're ready to see your brand new addition where you actually added on square feet to your house, to your new bathroom.
Let's take a look.
All right.
I wanted it to look like an expansive stone look.
Well, the tile on the floor is different, isn't it?
It's the same tile, but it's
But it's a matte
finish for
Yeah.
slipping.
So what you have on the walls is a polished finish.
Yes.
And what you used on the floor is the same material, but it's a matte.
Right.
Which will be safer. And I love the fact that your vanity is floating because you have, it's underlit. And now I also notice you put in lots of can lights in here. Good for you. We had tried some different outlets and switch plates and stuff in the gray, and it just didn't look as good. So we opted for black, which has more of a contrast, but it just looked better. The gray was standing out weird.
Suited it better.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really impressed with this mirror, and I didn't know you were going to get this, so explain that to us.
My mother actually found this one because I was looking
Aw,
for...
his mother, who thinks that he did not pick out those
That's
window
correct.
treatments. God bless Marianne. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually got this at Home Depot.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Wow. So show us what it does.
Okay.
Oh, and what's that do? It just changes.
Changes.
Oh, the color.
Uh-huh.
So
56,
medium,
47,
really bright,
24.
blue. We don't want that one. We don't want that one. We want that one. And then what's this do?
Off.
Turns it off. So in your shower, Dorian, this is a nice big roomy shower. I'm so excited for you. This is going to change your life and your lifestyle.
It is just glorious.
And he hasn't actually slept in his room yet because we just finished it yesterday and we're filming today. And then he's going to film the B-roll tomorrow. So in 2 days, your life is going to change. We only wanted a place to sit. I don't know. Do you shave your legs? Do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. Anyway.
Just want a dramatic pause.
Something we should point out is the color that you did your vanity, which is quite different.
It is.
It's an introduction to a new color, so let's talk about that. So when I first arrived, I like this. I like this kind of bleached wood look, but I was having a hard time reconciling it with all the teak and the rust color. So tell me what happened there.
The contractor just kind of did that.
Did what?
I wanted a wood door. You mean the door with the 3 lights?
Yes.
Yeah, so I bought that, but he installed it and it was
Orange.
just orange.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a choice, it just showed up.
He didn't give you a choice of wood finishes?
No, it was supposed to just be unfinished.
So Dorian and I should do a video. Leave us a comment below and let us know. Would you like us to do a video on how to kill a contractor? Because
I've got one in mind.
Yeah. So after you come down here to the vanity, he has a little pony wall here, and that gives him some privacy for the toilet. And he did a wall-mounted toilet, which is super cool, a Toto.
Yep.
I recently did that in my pool bath, and it takes up less space. I think those are awesome.
It's modern.
But when we go through and we talk about the different things I did to try to combine this light, unstained look with the teak, you'll see that I bought a ladder, but it came in the super light color. And I needed to bring the teak into this room and bring the light color into that room, which you'll see with the accessorizing. Because over on this side, you had the same issue with this was the only color you could get.
It was.
Explain that.
So this was the only color that was available in this as well.
So what he did was he lined this, and this plays off, and it's also in the vertical, plays off the slatted wall in his bedroom. But now you'll see he's got a really great washer and dryer in here, and they're stackable. All right, let's talk about some of the decor details that I added once I got here. Simple ways to bring the teak into this room, because at this point, the only thing we have teak in this room are these 2 doors. It needed to come in. So I brought in a tray in the middle. He's got some hand towels, diffuser for some scent, and then I put in a fresh plant. The lighting in here is great, so fresh plants will do well. Then I added the soap containers, the pumps, in the teak. This is in the teak, and of course it's perfect for holding towels. And then on the floor, I added an area rug. Now, I could have gotten the same exact style as what we did in the bedroom and just done it in a runner size, but we couldn't get it fast enough. I found this one at, I think it was at World Market, and it does bring in the light color of the wood and the gray and the white. So it's just kind of combining and adding touches. Then as we come around this way, you'll see that I came up with some things to do on this wall. I added a teak spa bench. You know, sometimes you find these actually in the showers, and I thought this looked great. It's a place to put towels because Dorian did not want hooks on the wall. That's why we did a ladder and we've done this bench. But it's also a place that you can sit and put your shoes on or take your slippers off or even just lay your robe while you're taking a shower. This right here is actually fresh. This is really like a living wall. I got this at Home Depot, and it is succulents, a combination of succulents that brings in green. Adding green to this room, I think, was really necessary and important. Then I found 2 of these little hanging baskets. I think I got them at Michael's. And I used them to put towels in as well, and just kind of came up with a creative little sense here. Once this is frosted, and here's the thing, Dorian does not want window treatments in here, so we're going to keep it very simple, but this will be frosted so you will no longer have the view out there. However, you do have access to this door. Now when you look here, you see that the stain on the teak door here ties in well with the baskets and the colors that are in the greens, while the gray of this basket ties in well with all the stone. Dorian, I am so happy for you.
I am so happy for me too.
I know. It's finally done. It's taken 1.5 years. But this part was only a month, right?
Yeah, this one we knocked out
But
fast.
it was quite a whirlwind of a month. Yeah, a lot. There are a lot of things that you can do to make your journey with a contractor easier and better. And I think Dorian's learned a lot of those things. And then some of it's just out of your control. I hope you like how Dorian's bedroom and his bathroom turned out. You're just like, you've all grown up.
All grown up.
All grown up. His mother even said that yesterday. If there are things that you learned today that really struck a chord with you, like the window treatments, all the different details of what we do in these projects, what I've been doing for years, I'd suggest that you check out the design sessions. We have our own app and our own platform. It's not on YouTube. It is something you can check it out. We'll put a link in the description box below. Please remember to give us the thumbs up. And of course, leave us a comment. We want to hear from you and want to know what you think. Should Dorian have kept his hibiscus window treatments or moving into the taupe velvet? Was that a smart move for him? I think so.
Love these rhetorical questions.
Yes. Hey, thank you for having me in your home.
No, thank you so much for all of your hard work and putting this thing together.
Of course.
And making it happen quickly with, positive reinforcement.
That's how we do it.
That's right.
This is how we do it.
I should not try to dance. I'll just stay still.
All right, you guys, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Can you hold that at the same time? You're good. I'm serious. You should marry me. I'd make your life miserable.